episode of Ian is a Weirdo or Ian is Weird, depending on where you're watching this. So, I'm going to work on my Swamp Witch garb. I was going to do Swamp Witch makeup, but I don't want to because my makeup situation is over there and it's on the floor, and I don't really want to sit on the floor. I'm old, I'm 32 now. I can't be sitting on the floor to do my makeup all the time. So, speaking of being old, my wrist fucking hurts. So we might end up doing makeup anyways, and I might just transport you all over there. um, so I'm working on my Swamp Witch shawl, which is getting longer and longer, which is a goal. I'm not really sure how big I want it, but I want it big. Like, this is pretty cool, but I want it just to be, like, very drapey and very just, like, all over the place. So, I mean, I think maybe, like, I don't know. I don't usually make shawls, but I feel like it should go from, like, one end of my extended arm to the other extended arm. So that's what my goal is, and I think that will be drapey enough. But I'm loving the way it's looking. Very mossy, very swampy, and I love that. So my wrist hurts a lot. So so I'm going to do some wrist exercises before I get crocheting. I wrote a lot today in my therapy session, so it's just my wrist crack just by like I simply like pressed my thumb into my wrist area and it just was like welcome in. So I'm gonna do some wrist exercises because I'm using my clover. I said this before, but so here's my this is my 4mm furls, and this is my 4mm clover. Just the shape of the head really makes a difference in what I'm doing because I'm doing a lot of chains. I need something that is more rounded so it doesn't catch on the yarn so easily because this yarn does tend to, you know, misbehave a little bit. But because I don't have the bigger grip and I don't have like a fucking tennis ball or something, I'm like tempted to leaving a thumb, shopping for groceries. I'm gonna say hi. Hi. I was gonna be like grocery shop for me, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. What am I even talking about? But thanks for being here, Crystal. I appreciate it. So, if you don't get the reference in the title, it's to Birthday Sex. It's a song called Birthday Sex. And I'll let you try to figure out what that is about. So, oh look, Olivia, where's the Zizma? Happy birthday, thank you. Hey Cammy. So, I am on this side. I was into wrist exercises. So, yeah, my wrist is like crickety cracketing all over the place. I have tendonitis in this wrist, and it definitely flares up when I don't use my ergonomic hooks. And I know a lot of people kind of guffaw is the only word I can think of at the price of furls, but like they really do save my wrists from a lot of pain. So having to go back to clovers for like a long-term big project is pretty painful for me. So I'm gonna stretch my wrists this way. I'm gonna stretch my wrists this way. I'm gonna press my wrist out. Oh, that doesn't feel good. Ooh. So, my friend had something come up. So he and his girlfriend are not coming over tonight. Probably see them Wednesday, maybe. But I told them, do what you got to do, and we'll hang out when we can hang out. No big deal. And so I think tonight, the plan tonight thus far has changed. So we're not watching 13 Ghosts tonight. We are going to watch Flash Gordon. Now, if you haven't seen Flash Gordon, you're really missing out because it is a classic, terrible movie. If you like watching hilariously bad movies, this movie is the movie for you. It is so bad. It's hilarious. But we also are going to do a drinking game to it. And the drinking game to Flash Gordon is very, very, very simple. One of the most easy drinking game rules to remember. Just drink every time they say Flash. It is really hard to get through the theme song, the intro. It's really hard. so by the end of the theme song, you're like, you're like barely drinking. So I'm hydrating before, because I know what is coming next. And where am I going? What is happening? Right. Get turned around a lot. This one. So yeah, this is Swamp Witch Shawl number 1. I wanted to finish this one before I move back to the what is it? What's it called? Crystal, the taste of honey or something like that. I'm still only at this point of this. This is gonna go under this. So when you see it, it's gonna be like brown sparkle underneath the moss. So it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited. That pattern is a bag a day pattern. I started it maybe like a week ago or something. I don't know. So you can go back on that video and watch if you are interested. It also has the link to the video in the description, I believe. But yeah, so it's just chains upon chains upon chains. That's pretty much all you do. You do double crochet and then everything else is chains. So, and slip stitches. So it's very easy to do. I'm gonna write up the pattern for this shawl. I have so many patterns that I want to write now. I'm like, I think I might switch to writing more. Working on the shawl, the same I've been doing for a sweet lady who's known me since I was 3 years old. She has known me for 29 years. That's awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What yarn are you using, Cami? Hi Lydia, welcome in. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Anyone who wants to come up is welcome, as long as you're not a troll, but I don't see any trolls in the building, so I think we're good on that. Um, but um, but yeah, if you want to come up and hang out, feel free. If you don't, that's cool. I'm just gonna be crocheting here until my hand gives out, and then I'm gonna try to do makeup with this hand, I guess. Because who fucking knows? I tried, so I was like, so I was kind of torn between movies that I wanted to watch because, so as you may know, Killer Clowns from Outer Space has kind of made a resurgence in popular culture because a couple kits I got from the Goodwill store. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we watched it for the first time, I think last year or maybe earlier this year. And I love campy horror. I love campy anything pretty much, but I just didn't enjoy it. And maybe I was just like, maybe it was a little overhyped when I watched it. So I kind of want to give it another chance. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll do clown makeup for whatever. But then Mel had the great idea of watching Flash Gordon, which we haven't seen in like 10 ish years, or maybe 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That movie is also terrible, but it's really entertaining, especially if you're playing a drinking game with it. If you don't drink, I still think you would enjoy the movie because it's just so ridiculous that you just kind of have to laugh at it, not with it. And um, Kimmy's in the building.
Hello.
Hello.
So this is the shawl I'm doing.
Oh man, that looks beautiful. Wow,
It's
great
in
job.
it's in different shades of like cream and white.
Ooh, I love that. That's like perfect for winter.
Yeah. And I this lady I met was at a daycare right down from this high school I went to. It was just on the other side of the light.
Hey, Winter, welcome in. I'm glad you're here. Missed you. Mentioned you on my stream last night, I think, because I used some notoriously morbid cosmetics, and I will always credit you for bringing them to my attention because now my favorite liquid lipstick is from them. So, what have you been up to, Cammy?
Not much. I actually last month I actually started going to some things at my neighbor's church across the street.
Uh huh.
And last month was game night, like a game night, and you brought some games that you could play there, play the games you brought, or just sit there and chit chat.
Mm
And then last Friday was like a dinner they had, and then the next day we she took me there, to the dinner on Friday, and then Saturday she took me there, and we decorated pumpkins, decorated cookies, and stuff like that. And then next week on the 28th, next Saturday, this coming up Saturday, the 28th, I'm going with her back to the church and we're doing trunk or treat. And then from 12 to 3, then we'll get like a tour of the church, the history of the church, a little dinner.
hmm. Very cool.
Yeah, it was fun. It's been fun.
It's nice. I'm glad you found something in your community that can get you out and about and having fun. That's really important. I've been
Yeah.
trying to make friends, and I've downloaded so many apps to try to make friends because I kind of live so it's like the second most populated metropolitan area in North Carolina. I live in a suburb of it, basically, but the suburb I live in is like pretty country and like cringy. Like, I don't feel like super safe going out in there, so I'm trying to like get back into the more metropolitan area, if you will.
Yeah. I,
Um,
I always say I am in a suburb of Detroit.
okay.
And I mean, everybody knows of Detroit pretty much.
Mhm.
So, and I'm literally 30 minutes out from Detroit.
Yeah, I'm about 30 to 40. Hey, Lulu,
Hi, Cindy Lou Who.
welcome in. Yeah, we're just crocheting along with whatever we're working on, lurking and watching, finishing up dinner, but it always thumbs up support channel. Hope everyone is doing well. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So this was kind of like a more difficult birthday for me, if I'm going to be honest, and I try to be honest with you all and with myself. Because like I had a lot of expectations for how this month would go, and like literally none of them happened. So it's kind of like I'm not even bittersweet, but I'm just like in this headspace where I'm like not super excited about my birthday, which normally like I'm stoked about my birthday. I'm stoked about Halloween. I've been doing Halloween stuff for like a million years at this point, but like that's just not where I'm at this year, and so I'm trying to like get more festive than I am right now because people tell me happy birthday, and I'm kind of like, mm,
Yeah, that actually happened to me this year. I share the same birthday, the exact same birthday to the very day as my mom's dad.
mm-hmm,
And this year I had like so much hate, just like so much hatred against my birthday. It's like, why even bother?
yeah,
And I was telling my neighbor across the street last week, I said, I think it was because my mom and I were kind of, butting heads with each other and, you know, pissed at each other and having an argument to the point, and, that I have to live and celebrate my birthday with my grandfather knowing he's dead.
mm-hmm,
And just, that hate, and I think, this year my birthday was just surrounded in so much hatred. Like, why even bother celebrating it? Why bother doing this and that?
yeah. Did you manage to get out of that headspace and enjoy your birthday, or were you just kind of like in the mood for your whole birthday?
Yeah, my dad kind of, knocked my head around a little bit, saying, we all miss Grandpa,
Mm-hmm.
and he would not want you to surround your guys' birthday in hatred. See if you can come out of it.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. And yeah, I mean, I haven't kept my like transition and stuff a secret from anybody. But I was supposed to have top surgery, and that kind of got canceled. So I feel like the rug kind of got pulled out from underneath me. And like before I had top surgery scheduled, I had all these big like YouTube plans and personal plans for Halloween and what I was going to dress up as. As you know, this year is the year of the Swamp Witch. And I had all these ideas, and then like everything just kind of came crashing down, and I was just like, shit, like, God, like I can't fucking deal right now. So working on it. It's nice to be with you all. You all make me feel just like normal again. So I appreciate every single one of you being here. And thank you for coming up, Cami. I do appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm testing out a new mic. How do I sound?
What'd you say?
I'm testing out a new mic.
Oh, nice. It sounds good.
I bought it. I bought it because I had a little bit of money and I had 24 hours of shipping.
Hmm.
This is what it looks like. It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, why would they put it on a dark blue background?
I know it's a they call it a portable recording lavalier lapel mic. So it's
Oh,
right
so
here.
it's on you. Okay. I miss you
Yeah.
so much, Winter. I miss you so much. Like every day, I miss you. We need to hang out soon.
And then I also ordered 8 new watch bands for my watch because I only had
Ooh, he's
this one
coming to money.
this one
Mm-hmm.
left, and then I had the one it came with, and then so I only technically had two, so I ordered that and this yarn.
Okay, yeah.
It's Karen 1 pound in the colorway medium gray mix.
Nice. I think I have the dark gray mix, if I'm not mistaken. It's like
I love that colorway. If I and
it's almost
so
black. I thought it was black,
yeah,
so I bought a bunch, and then I was like, "Shit, this is black," but it's close
so
enough.
this was now at my joints here in the one I go to. on the other side of the in like industrial drive where the UPS store is. That Joanne's right there on the other side of that. One of these carrying 1 pound is $11.99.
Yeah, full price.
Yeah, and that's full price. So I was just skimming through yarn on Amazon. Two of these were $21.99.
Nice.
These two are 21.99, and I had a 10% off coupon.
You have some LV coming for a commission, which I'm running so late on. Yeah, I have a packer order that I haven't even thought about, but I've got a couple days to get my life together.
So I went out and asked my mom. I said, I told her, I said, "Is this a good deal?" And she goes, "Well, what is it normally for one skin?" And I told her, she goes, "Oh, definitely that's a definite good price."
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I put it in my cart and then put the watch bands in my cart and bought it. And I've wanted a fan kind of all summer because the one I had was sitting over here to my left on my Blu-ray player,
Mhm.
and it just every morning I'd be waking up with dry eyes.
Mm.
And since I had the free shipping, I bought a new fan, and this is what it looks like. So
Oh, I'm a
you
big
have
fan of that.
yeah, and so my mom and I were at Kohl's,
Mhm.
and I happened to see a fan. That sucker was $149.99.
What the fuck? What does it do? Like rub your back while it's fanning you? Like
And it was just a normal fan, and it didn't even have all the bells and whistles.
that reminds me of when I so when we first moved to Charlotte, which is the biggest city in North Carolina, um, we lived in this really old apartment complex near the college I went to, and the AC went out, and with Mel's health, she can't be hot because it just makes everything like a thousand times worse, and she's like the most miserable person when she's hot. So we had to go to Walmart to get a fan, and like so we went with my cousin who lived close by at the time, and there was a box fan and there was an oscillating fan. Hey, Roberta, welcome
Hi,
in. Thank
Roberta.
you. I'm gonna drop the link again. If anybody wants to come up, they're welcome to. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Um, but my cousin and I, um, have been around the world of cheap fans before. And I was like, this oscillating fan, because it was one on a stand and then it had the big, fan that rotated, oscillated. And I was like, these things break instantly. Like they're not great. So so I was like, we should get the box fan. And she was concerned about the noise of the box fan. I mean, box fans are noisier, so I understand.
Yeah, they are.
But it's like if you I don't show my face. That's fine too. You could come up here and just talk to us and turn your camera off. We can do that too. But no pressure. Um but yeah, so we got the oscillating fan, and as we predicted, it fell apart almost immediately. So it was like, okay, well, there's $35 down the drain or whatever it was. But
So, yeah. So anyway, I decided to go on Amazon, and I had found this one again because I had it in my list and deleted it.
mhm,
This one was $124 less and had the three exact same speeds, and it oscillated, and it came with a remote.
that is pretty freaking sweet. That sounds like
Yeah,
a nice little haul you got there.
and plus it's rechargeable. So God forbid if it. I hope it doesn't happen, but if we lose power,
Mhm.
Guess what I have in the middle of the summer
Oh,
when the power goes out?
nice.
I, yeah. And if need be, I have a portable charger if I need it to
Nice.
give me some extra
You
boost.
were living the dream, Cammy.
Yeah.
I type so I can edit my words. Otherwise, I don't have friends. I'm surprised anyone shows up here. With how much garbage comes out of my mouth. So, but I thank you all for showing in. I do appreciate it.
So that yarn I showed, the medium gray mix, is going to be for my sister's mother-in-law.
Nice.
I'm going to make this exact same shawl pattern, but I have to before hers, um a friend of ours, I'm going to use this yarn.
Ooh, pretty. What colors are in that? Can you tell me? Because it's a little dark.
Yeah, it's like a light blue, purple, and like a magenta color.
Ooh, that's nice. That's like bisexual pride colors.
Yeah. So I had made her mother one, and then I'm gonna I'm like, why not make a daughter one? So I'm gonna make her one.
Oh,
So
you saw the new Saw. How was it? Baby, you were tame. Thank you. I'm Sophia. You'll never know what I'll say. I'm Dorothy.
yeah, Roberta, I'm the same way. I think for me personally, I'm a combination of Dorothy and Sophia. My dad is Blanche.
Your dad is Blanche?
Yeah, not Blanche. Rose.
Okay.
And Blanche, I don't know who would fit.
Oh, oh
Though
no. I'm sorry,
my
Winter.
mom, I would have to say probably would be Dorothy if I had to choose. Though it's like some of the stuff I see, I'm like, where the hell did that come from? Hi, Crystal. And it's funny, I've gotten so this is a 6.5 millimeter,
Uh huh.
and I've gotten used to using a 7 millimeter for these shawls.
Oh, mm-hmm.
So it's like it feels weird using a 6.5 millimeter, not a seven.
Yeah. I'm using a 4 millimeter for this, and then I also used a 4 millimeter for this awareness ribbon hat that I made.
Yeah,
And I was like, am I ever gonna be done with this? It's never taken me so long to make a freaking hat. And granted, it's, a lot of layers, but like, oh my gosh, I was like, I'm never gonna be done with this. Just give me like a 6 millimeter so I can finish this shit.
yeah. I wanted to be done with this shawl by this past Friday, to give it to her at the dinner, and I couldn't get it done. And I was like, ugh. So I told her, I said, Marianne, be expecting a present, probably by next week.
Um,
She's like, okay. And I told my mom, she's like, I wouldn't have even said anything. I said, Marianne would probably forget that I'm making her a present.
So, Roberta asked how the pattern is coming. So pretty much what you saw is as far as I got. I did do a little bit more, but I didn't do that much more. I kind of gave it a rest, especially because I guess so. I have no plans. Really, I do have a crochet group at 9 that I'm gonna do, but I don't want my hand to be too tired by then. I might need to give my hand a rest, and we might relocate. My cat is like playing with a penny. Yeah, Winter. If it's what I think it is, I'm glad you let me know because that's something that we're very sensitive to as well. Okay, so I'm gonna turn my camera off. Cammy, I'm gonna let you lead the
Yep,
way.
I got you.
And
Yep,
I'm
I
gonna.
got you.
Oh, hey, Divergent Crafters, great to see you.
Hi, Crystal.
Okay, okay. You're gonna hear a bunch of noise, and you're gonna hear me huffing and puffing because I'm out of shape. So,
I'm out of shape too,
yeah,
so don't feel bad.
yeah. I'm like, well, I guess I'm in shape if you count potato as a shape. Okay, we're gonna relocate and we're gonna swamp witch this bitch. Hey, that rhymes. Okay.
Roberta, I'm the same way, and I'm surprised my parents even let me out in public because of my mouth. I am surprised because I just say what's on my mind, and they always tell me to stop and think, but I don't. That was quick.
Oh shit! I did it again. Fuck.
Crystal, this is a shawl. It's gonna be for a friend, and I wanted it to be done by last Friday, but it wasn't. I'm gonna see her again on Saturday, so it'll be for sure legitimately done by next Saturday. This Saturday. Thank you, Roberta.
Okay. So we have my swamp witch hood. And we know two of the shawls that I'm gonna be making, and then I'm gonna make a cardigan if I have time. So it needs to look good with this, but I'm thinking kind of gray, kind of brown, kind of black, kind of green, spooky makeup. Easy enough. Um, I'm like, my brain is just like, what are you doing? So I got this mirror at like Five Below, and it's one of those like classic like beauty guru ones with like blinding lights on it, and it just
I love Five and Below.
I do too, but I feel like the name is super misleading because hey Lisa, welcome in.
Hey, Lisa.
Um, because it used to be literally $5 and below, and then like
Yeah,
inflation and everything, everything's more expensive. So you can get stuff for like $20 or $50 there, and I'm like, that's not
yeah.
below five. Like, like change your name to like we try to make cheap shit. Okay, so let's start off with a base.
Exactly, Roberta. Dollar Tree lies.
Yeah, well, at least like they like try. You know, I know that they had to go up to 125 here in the US. And then also they have their like what is it called? Like they're like
$5 plus
the
section.
aisle of like the dollar plus or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then that's where shit gets real because you're like, oh, everything's a dollar. Now you can't just load up your cart with all this shit for a dollar. But the yarn is still 125, so that's good.
yeah.
You just
The
have to,
washcloths I get, where is it? Like this one.
oh, letting
Y-
us know about the trigger that's in Saw. So thank you just for sharing that. We call it the 5 quarter store now. I like that.
These are washcloths. They start out in a little disc, and you just add water, and it turns itself into a dish washcloth.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. Those are pretty cool.
I love those things. I get those almost every time I go to the dollar store.
That's fun.
And I just when I use a new one, I just throw it in the I take off the packaging, throw it in the shower, and turn on the hot water,
Mm-hmm.
and then once it gets hot, I turn on the cold water, and then I just when I get in the shower, I just undo it and wash my face. Rinse it out, get the stuff, the chemicals they put on it, to shrink it up, and then I wash my face and then rinse it out and hang it until I get out.
Of course, potato is a shape, so it's round. Yes, I am potato shaped. I am lumpy in all the wrong places. So I took my normal foundation, which is the Conceal and Perfect in the color Pale Ass White Person. It's the 00A porcelain. And I added white mixing pigment to it. So it's going to be really white, but it's not going to be as white as if I did like a. I love cola. Junk we don't need, but we buy it anyways. Yes. Yeah. Guilty. Guilty. Um, you know what? My beauty blender didn't bring water, so I'm just using setting spray. Probably shouldn't, but like, who cares? Um, this setting spray really, I hate. It stinks so bad. I'll complain about it till the day I die. Get used to it. And then you just like mix it in on the back of your hand or a palette if you're, a practicing makeup artist. And as you can see, it is much lighter than my skin. We're going full Swamp Witch. Cammy is making a shawl, and it is gorgeous.
Give me 1 second, Lisa, and I'll show you. It's in white and like a cream. So you can see this is white, and then this one is cream.
Thank you all for coming to hang out on my birthday. I know 32 isn't really a special birthday, but didn't always think I would make it this far, so it's pretty cool, I guess.
Thank you, Crystal.
Yeah, Cammy does great work. I had a kid yell, "Mom, that lady is fat," yesterday. I was like, so, wow, Mom, that kid is rude. I get a lot of, what is it? Which I guess is better than being misgendered. Slightly? I don't know. I'd rather people not know what I am than assume that.
Yeah, same here.
I've been having a lot of conversations with like different doctors and stuff like that, and like scheduling it like new doctors and stuff like that. And it is so annoying because I have to use my legal name all the time, and like even when I correct people, they still like have to like they still call me by my birth name, and I'm just like, please just fucking stop. I don't really know why I'm going so far down my neck because I plan on having like black and green and shit coming up, but whatever. I'm just doing it because I'm used to it. I try to give kids like the benefit of the doubt. Like kids just don't have filters. And thrift stores that sell their stuff 40 plus, that's insane. Yeah, exactly. Thrift stores have gotten like there's so many not there's not a lot of thrift stores, but there are quite a few thrift stores around and they're just not affordable. Like and to buy something used and like that's like used up and shitty at now, like threes are a possibility. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. That's a good way to look at it. I had a pretty rough weekend. I didn't even know if I was going to make it to the weekend, if I'm being honest. But
Yeah, well, Saturday I told you I'd gone to church with my neighbor
yeah,
to do the pumpkins. I'd gone to bed at 6 o'clock that frickin' morning,
well,
and woke up 2 hours, 2.5 hours fucking later.
Cammy, I
Because
don't know why
why?
it is, but whenever you cuss, it just brings me a lot of joy. So please continue.
So I was all last week every day. I was going to bed at 2, 3, 3:30 in the morning because I refused to put down my phone.
Oh, thank you, Winter. Cool. I just assumed that it was a specific trigger that we share.
I just watched trailers of horror movies purposely so I could give myself nightmares.
Why would you want that?
I don't know.
I am like a huge scaredy cat, but I'm trying to enter my horror era
Yeah, I am too.
because like one, like
We're
if
talking about,
feel like I'm an adult. I should be able to watch whatever movie I want to, right?
yeah.
And then like also like I mean, now the nightmares I have are about real shit because my life is a garbage heap. So, but like there are two movies I cannot watch. I cannot say the name of. I can't see the title screen of. I can't do it. I just can't do it. Um, but yeah, so who knows? Okay, so what does a swamp witch look like? I feel like okay, let's have a vote. Brows or no brows? I didn't block mine out, but they're light enough now that I can. I've been having nightmares and it's not even about movies. I had so many nightmares in treatment. I don't know what it was, but I had so many nightmares. Every day I woke up like in a sweat. And then I had like PTSD nightmares and like it just was like yeah, yeah.
It was my dad had taken my sister and I to these, it was two trailers. It was like down the street from my high school. And I was, and I think like right in high school or just going into high school the next year, but whatever it was. And I was behind my sister, of course. She don't get scared for shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm right behind her. As we go in, the lady, it was like a, when you entered the door to go in, looked like the door of a jail cell,
Mm.
and it slid the same way. And as she, slammed it, she hollers out, "Flash me!" And I'm like, oh, I'm sitting there like, oh my god, we are so fucking gonna die. I'm gonna die.
It's not The Exorcist. Bye,
And
Lisa. Thank you for coming in. You have a great night too.
night, Lisa. So I'm sitting there holding on to my sister's
Oh, okay.
arm, terrified that we're gonna die.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Sissy, please don't leave me. Oh my God, please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. I'm gonna die if you leave me. Please don't leave me. As I'm literally gripping on to my arms, gripping onto her bicep with both hands, begging her not to leave me. And the whole time she's like, Cam, I won't leave you.
She's like, now I kind of want to leave your ass.
No, she's always been that way to me.
Uh-huh.
If we do something that I'm not comfortable with because of my disability, she's like, I won't leave you. You
That's
need me
nice.
here, I won't leave you. So and she's just sitting there, and I'm getting the brunt of the scare, and she's not even jumping in. My dad's like, we get out in the second trailer. My dad's like, come on, Cam, go. And I said, Dad, I can't. I'm traumatized. Please don't force me to go in there. And my sister's like, Dad, he physically and mentally cannot deal with going in there into that second one. He is so traumatized. Dad, will he just go in his place? So because my dad had paid for the both of us to go.
Mm-hmm.
So the second trailer, my dad ended up going in on my behalf, even though he had paid for my sister and I, because of me being so traumatized. But I was just telling my mom the other day, at the end of our street, two houses up from the end of our street, I think I was fine with that, but because the only reason I could think of is because I knew the kids who were in that haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that was fine and okay. I was fine with it. And then my mom brought up another one. It was because every year my mom and dad would take turns on who took us trick or treating and who stayed home to pass out the candy. My This particular year was my dad's
Wait, there's a
turn.
transphobe? Did I miss something? Oh, I missed a transphobe. Damn it. Oh, man. I'm gonna unleash hell. Um, yeah, PTSD, yeah, the fight or flight, that is for real a response, and it's valid.
Yeah,
It's fucking valid. So you got to swing to get out of something safely. You
yeah.
do that.
That's the same with me, and I don't even have PTSD. But I would only if I like probably would have to punch somebody like that. But anyway, so we're on our side of the street, and we get up to this house. There's a guy, like the tall screened in uh, gazebos you can get
Yeah.
for like a party.
Uh huh.
He was in that, and it was just enough for one person. He's sitting in there, shirtless, and I forget what he was wearing from the waist down, but he was shirtless from the waist up,
Mm-hmm.
wielding a chainsaw
That sounds
inside.
kind of hot, if I'm being honest. One lady on personal IG commented also, I was 10%. Why are you so pretty in the picture? And she knows. Ugh, loser.
So,
I don't have time for people like that. Get with the
um,
program or get out of my face.
exactly. So mind you, I was scared shitless to the point where I couldn't even move.
Yeah.
I seen it and jumped behind my dad and said, I'm not going across the street. And once my dad realized why, my sister said, I'll go get Cam's candy. So
Ooh,
she,
Crystal's in the building.
hi,
Hi.
Crystal.
Hi,
Happy
Crystal.
birthday.
Thank you.
Happy
Thanks for
birthday.
coming up.
So my sister went across the street and came back and said, here you go, Cam, here's our candy. And she told us that. She explained that. She's like, my brother's across the street. He's too terrified to come over. Would you mind giving me?
Oh, I
some extra
swear I
candy.
heard my brother is a prostitute, and I was like, I don't know the relevance of. I was like trying to compute what. I'm like, mm, yeah. sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
she was
My ADHD brain, like, I latch onto a word. Do you do that too, where you like latch onto a word, and
yes,
then that's all? You don't hear the rest of the sentence. You just like are on that
yes,
word.
I do that too. But she explained my brother's terrified to come across the street. So, would you mind giving me his share of candy? So she comes over and puts it in my pillowcase.
Mm-hmm.
My sister has been a tremendous help for me and my disability.
That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that, Kenny.
And my mom and I, we discussed it that when the time comes, I will move in closer to her.
Mm-hmm.
Find a home or somewhere place closer to her.
I swear I thought that's what I heard. It's like, okay, you're scared, and then your brother is a prostitute, and I'm like, just like trying to make sense of that in my brain. How are you doing, Crystal?
I am doing awkward. How are you doing?
You're feeling awkward. Oh no.
No, I'm just in general, like, I have not been feeling anything. You know how people are productive?
Yeah,
Not me.
yeah, I fucking feel that. I mean, it depends on the day, the second, the moment for me. I think
I don't know,
it
man.
looks like I do more because I'm like on the internet, but I really don't have a life. Like I said earlier, like I downloaded all these apps to like find friends, and like, it's basically like dating apps, and I fucking hate it. It's just like I
You
hate
don't
it
need
so
you don't
much.
need no dating apps. What are you doing?
I don't need any dating apps. But like you swipe for people, and then I tried like Bumble for friends, and like you can talk to one person and then you have to pay $25 a month. $25 a month? Fucking bye.
For friends?
For friends.
Friends are free. That's prostitution. I'm just,
But like because I live in a pretty
can't do
small
that.
town, it's
Yeah.
really hard to like there was like a knitting and crocheting group that like I tried to join like last year, and I showed up at the meeting and literally no one was there. And I just had like a big thing of yarn. I had like a yarn bowl with a project in it, and I was like
Friends.
in a fucking
Dude.
bar.
Because we're homebodies, like crocheters and knitters. We're just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like a homebody.
Well, yeah. I developed like super bad agoraphobia in the past couple years. So like getting out is really hard for me. So I have to really challenge myself. But for whatever reason, if yarn is involved, I can get out of the house no problem.
You're like, I'm there. I'm there.
I'm fucking there. You got a sale at Joann's? I'm there.
There's a fiber art studio walking distance from me. Like one of those bougie ones. Really
Ooh.
nice yarn and fiber. And they have every Friday they do you hear my smoke detector dying in the background?
Yeah.
I'm
I
so
feel like
careful
that's like my
today.
We
entire
got to
childhood.
Crystal. There's a trick. Go to the smoke detector.
Push it.
No, where the battery part is, you just undo the battery or the battery compartment.
So just take off the batteries and not replace
Yeah,
them.
where you just release the battery, and
That's
it should,
dangerous. No,
cause
yeah, I need to fix that though, cause
we
it's
that happened to us
it's so
this
annoying.
summer when we lost power just recently, and we took it completely. We didn't take out the battery. We just unhitched where the door for the battery compartment. We just undid battery and it worked.
Okay.
So,
It keeps beeping, dude.
and then when we got the power
I'll
back
do it.
on,
I don't want to do it.
yeah,
Yeah, I understand. Like, I am the king of, like, I'll do it tomorrow.
so am I. My mom's like, "Oh
Procrastinator
well, why
here.
don't you do laundry today?" I'm like, "I'll do it, tomorrow."
Yeah.
Tomorrow
And then, like,
comes and
8 years
goes.
later, I'm still.
Yeah, though I have been consistently doing it on a regular basis since I started volunteering at the Humane Society.
Hmm.
I have been consistently doing my shirt, doing a load of laundry with my volunteer shirt every Monday that I have a shift. So I have been at least doing one load a week.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's good. I,
I have.
I'll do this as soon as I finish this road 20 rows later. Yes, exactly. I, I I've been reading and like watching a lot of YouTube videos on like executive function because apparently that's something that people with ADHD don't have a lot of. and
Executive
and
function, you said?
yeah, so basically just like I don't even know the definition. I can look it up because like I did, but I don't know it
I
anymore.
just dropped like all of these stitches right here.
Oh no.
And I picked them up. That was so scary. And it happened in a terrible spot. Yeah, I have horrible executive function. Like when you just like make decisions. It's I
Hmm.
think executive means like decision making, right? No.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, decision making. Um, let's see. Set of cognitive processes that are necessary for the cognitive control of behavior. So your behavior is crazy. is is basically what I interpret that as. Yeah. So I like downloaded an app. I was like, let me just like in the Play Store, in the Google Play Store, let me just like look up like executive function or something. And so there was one that I downloaded, and you can make a morning routine and a night routine in the free version. And then I did that, made it, and never once. So it would give you a reminder. It had like a push notification, and every time it sent me a reminder, I would just like get
Swipe.
rid of it.
Swipe.
Yeah,
Nah, I'm not doing that.
yeah. I was like, fuck that.
Swear, dude. Swear. Oh my gosh. Yes.
So
That's so bad. That's so bad for me.
yeah.
I swear I do that. I downloaded an app for tasks that's supposed to like give me alerts, like, kind of like that, and I
Hmm.
do the same thing. I'm like, no.
So I have no idea what I'm doing with my face. I'm just kind of making shit up.
How do you?
Yes. So I've seen. So this is the second time today I've seen AUDHD. So is that with autism and ADHD? Um, weird ass
It's
comments.
a good question.
We were talking about the weird ass comments you get. Oh yeah. But, man, I love trolls. I missed it. Oh, I'm so pissed.
Are you on your other? Are you multi-streaming from your other
Yeah.
area?
I am the same way, Crystal. I refuse to take care of myself. I will not shower if I don't have to.
Oh, I hate showering.
Yeah, so do I. And now that I'm in control of my own laundry, my mom will say something. I'm like, Ma, it's right there. You walk in and it's right there. You want my laundry done? Come get it. You're more than welcome to do it. The stuff
Yeah.
you need an extra few pairs of clothes, like an extra pair of pants to make a load. You're more than welcome to march yourself in there. Say, I need some, this, that, and the other, and you're more than welcome to come get it. You think she
Yeah.
does? No.
I just like I don't know. I just like I want to be better, but I don't know how to be better. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
And my mom actually brought up a good point. My one cousin, gets so overwhelmed with stuff, like cleaning and stuff, that she doesn't know where to begin.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. I look at all this, and mind you, I'm allergic to dust,
Mhm.
and yet I refuse to dust my room on a weekly basis because I let it get so bad to the point I completely and mentally shut down and say, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So my
I
mom has to
the same.
physically come in, she tells me, so she's like, you sit at your desk every day. She goes, start with your desk, dust the top of your desk, then to go to your headboard, then go over here and do that. And it's like, still, she's telling me this, and my brain completely shuts down as she's telling me because I physically can't do it because I'm so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But every year, I will do I call it my deep clean, where I completely dust every single thing in my room so I can put up my Christmas stuff.
Yeah. That's the thing about like ADHD is like people think it's like you're all over the place all the time, and like sometimes that's true, but like sometimes you can hyper focus and you're just
Yeah.
like sucked into it.
Yeah, and like that's me, and like the week of Thanksgiving, because knowing I could put my Christmas stuff up on Black Friday, like that whole week, I am like hyper focused on cleaning my room. And then our routine is, I clean my room so well, and then my mom has to come in and inspect my room.
Mm.
And if she gives me the okay, I can put up my Christmas stuff. And if she says, Opie, you missed it, she's like, come here, you know, maybe wash this and maybe wash that, and then come get me again, and I'll tell you if you can put it up.
That would stress me the fuck out.
So I literally, that whole week of Thanksgiving, like that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'm like so hyper focused. I won't get any crochet done because I'm sitting there cleaning. And then, like, now we go out to my sister's for Thanksgiving. So, I'll skip that day of cleaning. And then the day of Black Friday, I'm like, okay, today is the day. If mom says okay, I get to put up my Christmas stuff.
Hmm.
So I'll have like Ursula on in the background on Friday and say, okay, I'm here cleaning. Ursula, yell at me if you need me, because I can hear you, but I can't hear the chat. So if you need me, yell at me and I'll come. So, I'll have her playing while I'm sitting there running around like a fat man with his head cut off, cleaning my room every which way. And it's funny, last year, she said, okay, I'm going to post the link if anyone wants to come up. And I was just getting ready to sit out, vacuum my room. And I heard that. I'm like, okay, perfect timing.
Okay, sorry. I'm gonna read the chat because I'm a little behind.
Yep.
So Crystal of Divergent Crafter fame said, "I shower and bath, but not daily, and I struggle with eating and drinking enough fluids most days.
So do
I
I.
forget to eat all the time. You wouldn't know it by looking at me, but I do.
Yeah.
Um, and my wife does not understand that. She's like, "How do you not have this basic survival skill?" And I'm like, because my whole life has been about barely surviving. That's the minimum I can do." And then Roberta said, my therapist says it's okay to not do it. Just that you can do it. If you can't shower, wash your face, can't do dishes, clean a bowl, you need. Eventually, you'll get it done. That's nice. Yeah. With mood disorder, it's a little different because, like, it's a little more complicated. Still like the idea, but okay. And then Crystal said, I really suck at cleaning due to being overwhelmed and a lot of trauma center around housework. Yes. Oh my gosh, me too. It is awful. I just like I get overwhelmed, I shut down. I
Yep.
stop. Um my doctor is the opposite, Roberta. She shamed me for taking walks every day. Um it was too much for me. I wanted to start by going only a few times a week only. She said, well, that's not much of an effort. Well, fuck off. Just go every day. Ooh, if anyone's seen Ursula, she just won Joe's Garden State Gardeners. She needs to pop in right now. Okay, we haven't seen her, but if we do see her, we will let her know.
Yeah, I'll most likely be on her live stream Friday, so I'll let her know it's Cindy Lou Who.
Okay,
Unless you beat me there.
she said now, so it looks a little urgent. Okay, she was like, "Well, that's not much of an effort. Just go every day." Well, fuck off.
I wonder if Ursula's
Yeah, the therapist.
late. Right? It's like
Well,
I,
it's going on +5 would
so I
be
follow this
it's
this like
11:50.
health and
no
like weight loss.
one. It's going on 2 o'clock. Wait a minute. Hang on, I've got her. I've got Cape Town edited my watch, my world watch.
Do you have a watch that
but
has time? That's
Yeah, it's called World Clock. 1:55 a.m. It's
Yeah,
going
she
on
must
2 o'clock.
be sleeping.
Yeah,
Although I'm a night owl, so I'll be up at that time.
I can do both. Really, I function at night and during the day.
It depends on when I go to sleep.
Yeah, same here. So
Sure.
even if I go to bed like I said, I don't know if you were here, Crystal, but Saturday I went to bed at 6 o'clock in the stupid morning because I refused to put down my phone, and then proceeded to get up 2 hours later and go to church.
no worries, Winter. I understand, but just so
Yep.
you know, the fitness person I follow says that just walking and doing daily tasks is good exercise and
That's
just as good as
exercise.
going to the gym. So you do the best that you can. 'Cause that's enough.
Exactly,
And
Winter.
fuck that doctor.
Yeah.
Don't literally fuck that doctor, but or do whatever you want. I don't care.
So I went to church with her and we painted pumpkins and decorated cookies on literally 2 hours of sleep.
I.
Yeah, and um, my neighbor's high school friend made cookies that big around.
Whoa.
That's like as big as my head.
Yeah,
I had a cookie cake. It was awesome.
Yum.
and we took Reese pieces and took the top part, like the smallest part, and used kind of like you would make in a gingerbread house where you used the frosting as glue
Mm-hmm.
and then put it down and then used the the bottom part and put frosting on it and then put eyeballs and then you took it literally looked like a hypodermic needle and you took the frosting and made spider legs.
Oh, cool.
And then the Keebler round fudge cookies with the drizzled
Oh, the circle in the center.
Yeah, yep. We
April.
flipped that upside down so the bottom fudge part was on the top,
Yeah.
and you could either frost it where the hole was, and then
Mm-hmm.
you took a Hershey Kiss, plopped it on that frosting, and put sprinkles on it, and it was a witch hat.
Yeah.
And I told my friend who's known me since I've been 3, as I'm doing one of the cookies, I said, Marianne, I'll let you know how it tastes. She's like, okay. So I finish it and I'm just letting it sit there for a minute so it can harden and stick. And I start eating and I'm like, Marianne, they're delicious. So then there's, a couple of several cookies of the ginormous ones left. And I take one and I take the chocolate frosting and smother the entire top of it with chocolate frosting. And I told my neighbor across the street, I'm like, when Barb comes to get her Tupperware, let her know these cookies are delicious. She's like, okay. And I see my neighbor packaging up cookies, and I'm like, your hubby does not need any more cookies. And she goes, these are not for hubby.
Sorry, I'm stressed out. I have no idea where this is going. It's gonna be pretty bad, but hopefully we can keep it from being like the worst muddy mess of all muddy messes. I agree, Crystal. Walking is great.
I thought you were talking to me because I'm over here telling my family to turn their volume down. Dog is barking and I'm muted.
I can't hear any of that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I muted. I got the trigger finger for muting. Oh my gosh, I dropped my stitch marker. Be right back. I'm all shrouded in darkness. Sorry.
That's what I want my life to be. Actually, maybe that's what my life is.
So I have a problem. I keep starting projects and not finishing projects.
Yes.
So
I know what that's like.
Yeah.
I wish I had any advice to give you, but I just
no advice, just condolences.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry this is happening to you.
Yeah.
I'm doing it to myself. I see yarn, I'm like, that could be this, and then I start making it, and I'm like, I'm bored.
Yep. That's why most of the time I stick to fairly small projects because I just can't commit to like these big things. I'm getting like with time, I'm getting better at like bigger and bigger projects, but like I have like a whole thing of whips that I'm never gonna get to. Like I'm just not gonna do anything with.
And then they become UFOs, and then you're like, what have I done to myself? Oh my gosh. The freaking beeping, bro. Everyone's talking in my house. Can you hear people?
No, I can't. And I'm wearing headphones and I still can't hear people.
Oh, that's great.
I hear a little
them.
beeping,
They're
but
like
not
right
too much.
here. Huh? Sorry. I've been waiting for you to do an open panel.
Well, when you
want to come up, like feel free to ask. I just never think about it, like honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
When you dropped the link, I was like, cool, I get to test out my mic because I got it yesterday, and I was like, I tried to call the lady who taught me to crochet to see if I could test it out with her. She doesn't answer. So I'm like, you know what, girl? I'm like, screw you. You don't want to talk to me? That's fine. And then it's like, nobody wants to talk to me. I feel all alone. Yet my parents have always told me, they're like, you want to talk to somebody? You got two people right out here willing to talk to you any time of the day.
Mm.
Yet it's like, I want to stand here, and if there's no panel, or I call someone on Messenger and they don't answer, it's like, no one wants to talk to me.
Yeah. You just gotta be more patient.
Yeah.
You know, which is easier said than done. I will like fully admit way easier said than done. But
I'm scared of phone calls, so if anyone calls me, I'm just like,
Well, it inevitably in the end when I started working in the kitchen at my high school, eventually I ended up becoming the person who would answer the phones when it rang. So I would have to say, good morning, John and Glenn's kitchen student speaking. How may I help you? And constantly answering the phones for the teacher. They'd pick a student if they were like right in the middle of a lesson. They'd pick a student to go answer the phone, and you'd have to say, "John Glenn, student speaking."
yeah, I hate answering the phone, but um I have so many doctor's appointments now that like I have to answer because it might be a doctor. It usually is a doctor, but like I know if it's a doctor if like I answer and I'm like Ian Walker speaking and they're like they say my dead name and I'm like fuck the doctor the doctor and they use my dead name. Great.
And then inevitably, I was training this person, and I didn't want him to answer the phones right away at the store. So I inevitably started answering the phones there at the store. And you have to say, Livonia Goodwill, how may I help you? Or, people have their own way of answering the phone. And so I ended up answering the phone there. And you have to, when you're on the phone at a business, you have to be polite no matter who is on the other line.
Mm-hmm.
And with my ADHD, they say something snooty. And Ian and Crystal, you know what I'm saying when someone snaps at you, you instantly want to snap back. But when you're in that kind of setting, you cannot, no matter
can't.
what.
You got to
Right,
be professional.
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
finally, one day to this lady, she's like, this, that, and the other. What do you think? And I'm telling her what we can and cannot take. And I said, ma'am, can I be brutally honest with you? And she goes, honey, please do. So I'm like, okay. I have worked in donations. I am telling you what we can and cannot take from memory. I don't know everything we can and cannot take. If you want to know what we can and cannot take, bring it up to our guys in donations, and they'll gladly tell you what we take and don't take.
Ian, you have a message in your messages.
A message in my messages.
Yes.
Wait, oh, there's wait, sorry. I'm what? What's going on?
Chris,
Someone stopped in and said happy birthday.
Oh, that's
Your
so sweet. Oh, Thriss. Was it Thriss? Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Sorry. I missed a lot. Okay. There's oh, thank you for coming in, Thriss. You're the sweetest.
and like this one lady, I always said for one jerk you get on the phone, the next call is going to be the nice one. And we had just opened up, and the phone rang, and I answered it saying, Livonia Goodwill, how may I help you? And she goes, do you guys take pianos? And I said, I have no idea. I said, my manager's sitting right out here, right out in the vestibule. Can you give me a minute and I can go ask her? She's like, absolutely. So I go out and say, Tretha, I have this lady, young lady on the phone wondering if we take pianos. And she says, no. So I come back to the phone and say, ma'am, you still there? She goes, yep, I'm here. I said, so my manager said We do not take pianos.
We're doing Swamp Witch makeup. We're doing a shawl.
So
And Crystal, I actually don't know what you're making. It just
A
looks really cool.
circle.
I
Knitting.
love the colors.
I hand dyed and hand spun this.
You're so cool.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
so she's like, okay, thank you so much.
Oh, I'm knitting backwards.
What are you up to,
And
Thris? Yeah, so I remember when I started working in customer service, and um, I had a really hard time with being nice to people who were I just saw as stupid. And you know, like if you ask a stupid question, expect a stupid answer, right? Like
yeah,
that's how I was raised.
I'm very sarcastic.
yeah, so am
Same.
I.
So one day, like this customer was getting. I was working at Domino's, and this customer was getting like really upset and like was like, "I want to speak to your manager," and I was like, "Okie dokie, like great. This sounds like not my problem." And like my manager at the time was like the biggest fucking asshole I've ever met. Like he was nice in like a lot of senses, but he could really turn on like that big asshole energy. Wait, I don't know. That sounds gross. um, so, but he would be like, okay, yeah, yeah, and he'd be so like so nice to them, and he'd get off the phone, and I remember distinctly, I was like, how are you so nice to these people? And he's like, I just think I hate you, and I want to get your money. So I'm gonna do whatever I can to get your money. And I was like, that's a fucking brilliant. Just like
Well,
whatever you have to
so
do to get that dollar.
this guy would inevitably come in and always ask, "You guys got any records?" And at first I didn't know why he wanted them. So he comes up to the cart I'm working on and goes, "You got any records in the back?" And then I had just started, and I said, "No idea." And he's like giving me a look like, "Stop what you're doing and go look."
Wow.
So
Blink, blink, blink.
I stared back at him
No.
like, I'm saying right here, and I'm picking up some things to put away. All I hear him say is something, 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 stupid volunteer. So he leaves, and I told the assistant manager, I'm like, you know that guy who always gets the records? And she goes, yeah. I said, all I heard him say was, mutter, utter, utter, mutter, 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 something, something, stupid volunteer. She's like, okay, I'll let Angela know tomorrow. And I said, okay. So I come in the next day, and I'm doing something, and the store manager's right there doing some, looking through the clothes. And I say, Angela, can I talk to you for a minute? She goes, absolutely. So I said, did Teresa tell you what happened yesterday? And she goes, no. So I told her. I said, you know the guy who's always here for records? She stops. She goes, oh, you mean that jerk? And when you hear your like district or store manager say, oh, that jerk, you know it's got to be true. She goes, and I told her she goes, what he say? And I said, I don't know the first part, but I said, all I heard was stupid volunteer. And then, several mutters after that, several mutters before and after. She goes, don't you ever listen to him. She looks dead at me and goes, you have been a tremendous help. You show up on the days you're supposed to. You work the hours you're supposed to. You come in, you drop your stuff off and get straight to work. You never ask us what needs to be done. We appreciate you coming in and helping us and getting things done. Don't you ever listen to him.
Also, like volunteers. That word, You don't get paid to do this. You were
Right, and that's
literally
what she
being
said.
nice to him for no money. You know how
Right.
many people I'm nice to for no money? All of you, and that's it.
Yeah. And she's like, from now on, when you see him and he asks you for records, you defer him to someone else. And all I want you to do from now on is if he does not speak to you, you do not speak to him. And when he does, all you're to say is, "Hey, how you doing?" And that's it. Exchange your pleasantries, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You should be like next time he talks to you, you should like did you just shit your pants?
And eventually, I started. He'd come in. I'd see him. I got to know his Dodge Grand Caravan, and I'd see him pulling up to the front of the store, and I'd go back and say, "Kelly, we got any records? He's coming in." She goes, "Yep, right here." So before he could even get in, I'm standing at the door saying, "Here you go with the records."
Good for you, Cammy, being the bigger person.
And ever since,
I would have fought him. I would have had to pay for the broken chair that I would have fucking WWE'd on his
yeah,
ass.
but I
You
I
went
loved
from
it.
here to here, escalated it down. That's
Yeah,
too
but
much.
like
Someone,
if he like I
no.
wouldn't even if I'd seen him, I wouldn't even speak to him. But if he saw me and spoke, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Good. Any records?" I'd say, "Let me go check," and then that was it.
Yeah. My parents did not teach me to throw hands. My parents taught me, hey, you're small, start biting first and hit them in the hurty parts.
And like this one lady, I started making a deal with Kelly, one of the ladies in the back. I said to her, and this was the day I said it. I said she wanted me to go do donations. I said, "Okay, how about at 10:30 when the kids come? I'll go out. I'll take one of them and go out." She's like, "Okay." So this lady's telling the manager, "I'm here when you're supposed to be here for the donations, and there's nobody out here." So I come up to her, and this is like the one and only time I snap. But I did it calmly. I said, "Ma'am, I'm going to be out there at 10:30. And if you'd like to stay here and shop." See, I'm the same way as you, Crystal. I'm spicy, but yet I'm nice. You push the wrong button, and you get my bad side. But anyway, I said to her, I said, "If you want to wait here until 10:30, that's fine. Otherwise, there's going to be nobody here to do donations until 10:30." And she's getting snooty with me, and I'm like, I just give her a look and walk away and let the manager handle it.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
why
next thing
managers
I,
get paid to deal with that shit.
but you
They
know,
really test. They're out here testing you. The
yeah.
Lord is
And
testing you.
after I just gave her a nasty, snooty look, I walked away. And next thing I know, she's out the door.
Bye.
Yeah. And then this one lady said she had an entertainment center. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe, like a bookshelf that you're able to fit a TV on. Or, like DVDs in a TV center, a TV console. And I say, yes. And I'm like, my manager's right across from me. Can I just confirm that we take it? And she's like, yeah, go ahead. And I said, so I holler across, and mind you, it's the store manager. And I'm like, Angela, we do take an entertainment center, right? And she looks dead at me and goes, how big is it? So I come back to the phone, and she goes, 55 inches. Now, 55 inches is over 5 feet tall or 6 foot tall.
I'm just gonna say that literally anyone who is born a female has no idea what 55 inches looks like. We've been lied to
30,
about inches for a long time.
36 inches is a yard.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And so I told her, and she goes, we don't take that. That is not an
Not 5
entertainment
feet.
center." So I tell her, and she says, "You just told me we did it." I said, "We take small stands that you can put a TV on. What you got is not small enough to put on our floor." And I said, and I mind you, I'm being played, and I said, "We physically do not have the room to put that big of a hutch on our floor."
That's big as
She's
shit.
right. And I'm like, my the store manager, I'm looking right now at the store manager, and she's looking back at me, ready to come talk to you if you want her to come talk to you. All I got to do is tell her, and she'll come talk to you and tell you personally that we don't take it. And she's like, "Well, you said," and I said, "Yeah, but that was before how big you told me it was." And unfortunately, coming from our store manager, we physically cannot take anything that big, and we will not take anything that big.
Yeah.
And I said, "I'm sorry that it's an inconvenience to you that we cannot take it, even though said we take entertainment centers." Next thing
Can
I
you
know,
imagine having
click.
like that kind of stuff and like that being like your biggest inconvenience in life? Because I fucking can't. This eyeliner is fucking dried up as shit.
And, you know, one time I got a call saying, "Do you guys take beds?"
Beds.
Yeah, like a physical mattress that you sleep on. And I said, "Unfortunately, we do not, and we cannot accept any part of said bed." And she asks me, like I'm supposed to know this. "Why don't you take it?"
Because it's fucking gross.
I'm just telling you information. I don't
Yeah.
like.
And I said, "Probably because my store manager does not want to have to deal with bed bugs if it's
Mm,
infested." And I said, "Ma'am, I'm not saying your mattress is infested with bed bugs." I said, "Hear me out. I'm not saying that it is infested with bed bugs, but I'm just saying for those who don't realize it, she doesn't want to have to deal with bed bugs in this
but it
store."
could be.
Yeah, and she goes, "So and she once I said that it could be, she's like,
Could be.
"Oh, I understand."
Yeah.
And like people would always come say, "Can you throw this away for me? Or can I throw this away in your dumpster?" And when we say no, and then you
Because y'all
explain to
pay.
them,
You guys pay. Well, they pay for that dumpster
yeah, exactly. I
for
say
free.
unfortunately we have to pay for that dumpster.
Hmm.
Now, me personally, if I was doing donations, and let's say there was a lady between 70 and 90, and they had a bag of garbage, and said, "Is there a way I can dispose of this?" Then yes, I would take that, but only if it
Yeah.
were like an elderly person
Yeah.
and it was sporadic where I'd take it.
So if I need to dispose of a body, you're not the place to go to, right?
No.
It
Okay.
can't be more than 55 inches long.
Well, you can't dispose of my dick.
Jesus.
No, Ian.
But once I like, and eventually after I explained to the first person that I'm doing this from memory, they're like, "Well, what do you take this and that?" I said, "Firstly, I said I'm What I'm about to tell you we can and cannot take, I am doing from memory. So I'm not going to be able to tell you everything. But the things that I don't know, go ahead and bring them up. And the boys in the back will be glad as all gladly glad to tell you the things we can and cannot take.
How
So
glad
bring
will
them
they
up and
be?
they'll tell you. And then they'll tell you somewhere else to go and try. If we don't take that thing, they'll gladly tell you to try somewhere else. And they'll probably, if they're nice, if they're having a good day, they'll probably help you look up something on your phone for where to take it. And once I said, I'm doing this from memory, and I'm like telling them the things I don't know, bring them up, and the guys in the back will tell you.
Mhm.
Once you explain that, they're like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll come up and tell you. And I'd always tell them, where to go and how to get there to donations. And then right before I left, we ended up having to start to come around the building to the front of the building, around the side, and then back around the back and up. So I said, I would say, now if you've been here before to drop off some stuff, it's changed. And I tell them what you would come, and they're like, okay, thank you. And I said to them, have you been here to donate before? And they're like, no. I said, okay, what you do is you come up. I said, you'll see a long driveway in front of Menards. You'll come up that and come up, turn left, and then you'll see a opening. You'll turn right, go all the way to straight on, head on to the railroad tracks, turn right, then go all the way along the side of the building, turn right, come up, and you'll be right there. Like, okay. So at least they would have somebody telling them how to get to, what to do. And then I had a truck. This lady was doing an estate sale and said, that she was going to have a truckload at, such and such a point. And at this point, we couldn't um, take any furniture because we physically didn't have any room. So I said right away, do you have any furniture? She goes, if we do, it's very, very minute, a very limited amount of furniture. It's all just knickknacks and stuff like that. I said, okay, whenever you get a chance, come on up and we'll take care of it. So when I'd get a call like that about a truckload, I would always go to the back and tell the guys in donations, being us expecting a truck between this time and this time. And when I had to tell them that, you could tell that they were so appreciative that they got a heads up to be expecting a truckload of stuff.
Mhm.
And I told him, I said, if there's any furniture, it's very little. It's all just, clothes and, such like that. And he gave me a look and nodded. And then I went back up front. I would always try and tell them if they were getting like a U-Haul or something like that full of stuff.
Yeah, that's good foresight because it's like, at
Yeah,
least you knew
exactly. At
you were
least they
gonna
knew
do
they were
some
getting
heavy lifting. Not that they don't work back there. I didn't mean it like that.
right.
Oh my god, my
And you
nose
know how we
goes.
pick up what we pick up like our parents' traits and stuff. So,
Yeah,
am I a narcissist?
and
Yeah.
we'd always get it was
My goal
either
is to be like as little like my parents as possible, but I don't think
my
that worked out too well.
the phone calls we would get were either what do you take or what are your donation hours? Is donations open? When's your next sale?
They do sales.
Yeah,
You ever get yarn from there? Like, hey, got first pickings?
Oh yeah, we, one day I had gone and it was uh the winter of the fall of the 21-22 school year, and I was walking in, and the store manager, I come out to talk to her for a second. She goes, "Funny you should just appear. We were just talking about you." And I said, "I hope it was good things." And she goes,
Right?
"Of course it was. We just got a whole shipment of yarn because downtown didn't want to put it on the website. It was the summer, because a lot of people don't want to crochet or knit in the winter
True, true.
or in the summer." So I said, "Cool." So I'm out there doing stuff, and she goes, "Why don't you go up back there and ask Kelly to make you a bag of yarn and mark it for $5?" And I said, "Okay." Now anything like $7.99 or more. What the assistant manager said was, have them, the cat, just go ahead and tell the cashier if it's like a soft covered book, a hard covered book, put it under soft cover, or if it's this price, knock $1 off of it is a discount.
Go looking up.
Yeah, even though I was in the system as an employee, but the assistant manager explained it to me that volunteers technically should be getting it because it's not fair to the employees that though they may be on the payroll, he's not getting he's getting the discount but not getting paid. Something along those lines. So she'd mark this $1 less or make this or that. And so Kelly, the lady who did the wares, ended up marking it for $5.99. It was a whole bag of nothing but yarn. So I go up and say, when I go to pay for it, I'm like, mark this for $4.99. I said, give me my $1 discount. She's like, okay. So she punches it in as, $5.99, then goes back in and changes the 5 to a 4. And then I got Twin Peaks, the gold box edition,
Ooh.
and I had one, I think it was from Dana. She sent me all these kids' masks, and the assistant manager had all these grandkids. So I brought her in a whole bunch, and then I'm like, I've got more masks. She goes, bring them to me, I will take them. So I brought them in, and then I found the Twin Peaks, and right away I had the money, and I ran up front, and I bought it. And she goes, now technically, I should be charging you $4.99 for that, but I'm gonna knock $1 off of it. And she said, normally series like this are $4.99, but I'm giving it to you for $3.99. And I came home and looked it up on Amazon. It was like 20 something dollars,
Nice.
and I got it for $3.99.
Okay, I think this might be the swamp witch lake.
Happy day.
I don't know what I envisioned. I don't know if this is what I envisioned, but it's a loop. Let's see if it goes through the head. I still can't believe it's my birthday. So weird. What do we think? Do I look like I crawled out of a swamp?
Yes.
Cool.
And I love that.
That's all I need to hear. I'm gonna show up to my crochet group like this and be like, hey everybody.
Hello. Let's crochet.
Crystal, I'm almost like I not only look like my not you Divergent Crafter Crystal. I swear I look just like if my mom were to be sitting right here next to me, we look almost identical. That's how close we look. And I think that kind of bugs her to a fault because I look just like her. And not only that, but I say certain things that would come out of her mouth. And you can kind of tell sometimes that bugs her so bad it's not even funny. And one time we were in an argument, she looks right at me and goes, "I think the reason why we are like we are is because you and I are both so hard headed that we just butt heads constantly." And once she said that, I'm like, "Oh my god, you're right." That's why we're always constantly getting into arguments because we think alike, we act alike, and we know exactly how, what, when, where, and why to push each other's buttons.
Mhm.
And I
Nothing
think that
like
just makes her so mad that we know how to do it that we just, next thing you know, we're yelling at each other to the point where we will literally give each other the silent treatment for days on end. And my dad's sitting there being the way he is, like the mediator, saying, you know, do they maybe should go speak to his mom? And I hear him saying to my mom, you know, maybe you should go say this to Cam, or and it's like we're like so in tune with each other. We're both like saying, just leave us alone, please, and let us settle this on our own terms.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
my sister and my dad are like that. They are so in tune to each other that it's like anything goes with those two.
Okay. So we're gonna wrap it up soon. Now that
Crystal,
I
that's my sister.
now that I look appropriate for crocheting in a
My
group of
sister is
people.
an unfiltered smartass.
You have to go to your crochet group. Okay. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
But I want to play a song that the title is inspired by. So I'm gonna go off camera real quick and find it, but just and get to the point where the chorus comes in, because I can't play like the whole song or I'll get a copyright strike, but I can play like less than 10 seconds. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
get to the good part. Okay, so I'll be right back.
10 to 14 seconds. The Crystal and Cammy Show.
So
I
I
didn't.
don't know. I don't
What?
know if you were in here earlier, but I got some new yarn for. I'm gonna make a one of these shawls for my sister's mother-in-law. It's medium gray mix from Karen 1 pound.
Medium gray carrying 1 pound. Okay.
Yeah,
I
and
didn't see your shawl earlier. I was like grocery shopping and then I
yep.
got
I'll
home.
show it.
Damn, that's beautiful.
So you know the one Granny D's always doing that, just plain old double crochet one.
Mm-hmm.
This is it.
Nice.
So
Have
I'm
you
gonna do the. I'm
have
gonna
you
do the
seen
same
her
one.
gloves?
Oh, those are cute.
Oh my gosh, I love them. I'm thinking of making them in this white yarn,
Ooh.
probably double stranded, but
And
because it's
then
cute.
before I got to do that, so I'm making a friend one, the same one in this one.
Is that the red heart? It stripes like black, red, and grays.
Nope, this is Craft Smart
Okay.
in Orchid of Mist.
Do you know if that one color pools?
It doesn't, but if you knit it will.
Okay,
Okay.
we're ready. Um, I expect everyone on screen to dance or emote, okay? Is that fair? You ready? Oh, God.
Volume. I'm ready. What are we doing?
Oh, fuck.
Girl,
Wrong
you
part.
know why. I'm sorry. You said
Okay,
dance,
let me
not
find the right
dance.
part again.
Quit playing games with my mistake. Girl, you know why. Birthday. Wait a minute. I remember the next lyric to that song.
Okay,
I
here we go.
remember. I can't show how ghetto I am. Stop this. Stop this at once.
That's not actually what's going to happen tonight. It's going to be like birthday, sleep,
Birthday, sleep, get some birthday rest.
But thank you everyone for coming up and for hanging out with me on my birthday. It really means a lot to me. And you know, maybe next time I'll be a little less pale for this, but no promises. Because I haven't really done any Halloween makeup this year. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Also, I've got some fundraisers in the description below if you are interested. Two great foundations. If you want to do that. If you want to talk offline, there's the Facebook group, Army of Weirdos. I think all of you are in it, but if you're not, feel free to join if you want. Love you all, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.
Have a
Thanks
good
again
Bye.
for
Bye. I don't know what this was, but.
coming up.